My brother lied about his age to get a job, and it nearly destroyed our family. My brother lied about his age to get a job, and learned some lies have consequences that don't just affect you. For context, my brother Noah has always looked older than he is. At 17, he's 6 feet 2 inches with a full beard and the build of someone who's been lifting for years. People regularly mistake him for being in his mid-20s. At his age, I was still getting carded for R-rated movies. My brother could walk into a bar and nobody would question him. He became obsessed with making money after his friends started buying cars. He'd complain constantly about needing a job that paid more than minimum wage. I once caught him researching how to make a fake ID online. He got defensive and told me to mind my own business, but I reported it to our parents. They gave him a lecture and assumed that was the end of it. It wasn't. About 2 months ago, Noah suddenly had money. New shoes, new clothes, constantly going out to eat. When I asked where he was working, he said he got a job at a gym as a personal trainer. I was suspicious because he had no certifications, but he showed me pay stubs that looked legitimate, so I dropped it. 3 weeks later, I went to a nightclub downtown for my roommate's birthday. The bouncer checking IDs at the door was my 17-year-old brother. I froze. He went pale when he saw me. I pulled him aside and asked what he was doing. He told me he was 21 on his paperwork and had a fake ID that said he was born in 2003 instead of 2007. I stared at him, furious, and told him this was illegal. He got defensive, saying the club owner never asked questions and he needed the money for a car. I told him to quit immediately. He refused, saying he'd quit after he saved enough for the down payment. I threatened to tell our parents. He begged me not to, promising he'd stop in 2 months. Like an idiot, I gave him 1 week. 5 days later, our parents got a call from the police station. My stomach dropped when I heard my mom screaming. I drove to the station with them. Noah was sitting in a holding cell, face bruised, looking terrified. A fight broke out at the club between 2 groups. Noah, doing his job as bouncer, tried to break it up. One guy got thrown into a glass table and ended up with a severe head injury. When police arrived, they needed identification from all staff members. That's when they discovered Noah wasn't 21. He was a minor, working at a nightclub, serving alcohol. The club owner was arrested for employing a minor in an establishment that serves alcohol. The injured person's family threatened to sue both the club and our parents. Noah was charged with identity fraud. Our parents hired a lawyer with money from their retirement fund. The legal fees were $8,000. The settlement was $15,000. Between legal fees and the settlement, our parents lost $23,000 of their savings. My dad's dream of early retirement disappeared. My mom couldn't stop crying for days. Noah got a criminal record as a minor. The judge sentenced him to 200 hours of community service and 2 years probation. But the worst part? Our parents looked at him like they didn't recognize him anymore. They told him that since he wanted to be an adult making adult money, he'd face adult consequences. He had to get a real job and pay them back every single dollar. No car, no college fund, no allowance. Every paycheck went directly to our parents. He got a job at a grocery store making $12 an hour, working 25 hours a week while finishing high school. Between school and work, he had no life. His friends stopped inviting him places. He missed prom because he had a shift. He couldn't apply to the colleges he wanted because the money was gone. For months, I watched him come home exhausted, hand over his paycheck, and go straight to his room. He cried a few times, saying he'd ruined everything over a car he didn't even get. I told him that adults live with their mistakes, and now he was living with his. After 7 months of working, he'd paid back $8,400. He came to dinner one night and broke down in front of our whole family. He apologized for being selfish, for lying, for costing them their savings. He said he didn't want to be treated like an adult anymore, that he just wanted to finish high school like a normal kid. Our parents looked at each other for a long moment. Then my dad said, "You still owe us $14,600, but we'll put the rest toward community college if you keep working and stay out of trouble." Noah nodded, tears streaming. "I will. I promise. I'm so sorry." My mom squeezed his hand. "We know."